We got some very important elections coming up in 2016 for the U.S. Senate, for president. Obviously, Florida's pivotal in the presidentials always.
Former Governor Charlie Crist already getting Democrats fired up for the 2016 elections. Crist, the keynote speaker at the Charlotte County Democrat Party's annual Blue Gala fundraiser. This gala part of the party's quest to turn Florida purple. And as 4 in Your Corner's Lisa Greenberg tells us, she got some answers from Crist on some hot-button issues. Right, Lisa?
That's right, Warren. The Charlotte County Democratic Party chair tells me she asked Crist to come to the event to give the party the boost it needs to increase voter turnout. But while I had a moment to talk to Crist, I asked him why he's not running for office, if he plans to run in the future, and about some big topics facing our state.
Just to encourage people to be active and to make sure they get their neighbors out to vote.
That's the message Governor Charlie Crist is here to get out as he hits the Twin Isles Country Club in Punta Gorda. The keynote speaker for the Charlotte County Democratic Party's annual Blue Gala, Crist says with the upcoming Senate and presidential elections in 2016, that message is even more important. The Charlotte County Democratic Party chair Valerie Gunther tells me from 2010 to 2014, Democratic voter turnout increased by more than 20%. But she says Crist's visit will bring the numbers up even more.
This will encourage Democrats in Charlotte County to step up and work harder next year.
And while Crist was in Southwest Florida, I got the chance to ask him some big questions. Opting out of running for Senate to endorse close friend and Democrat Patrick Murphy, I asked Crist if he plans to run for office again in the future.
I don't know, but I do plan to do everything I can to try to get Florida on track.
And as Florida Governor Jeb Bush makes a bid for the White House, I asked Crist about his thoughts on the upcoming presidential election.
I am excited about Hillary's campaign as a Democrat, as you might expect, so it's going to be a very interesting year.
But with Clinton surrounded by the recent email controversy, does Crist think she still has a shot?
What I think is that it's really important that we stay focused on the big issues, the things that really matter, you know, like education.
And speaking of education, Crist tells me he thinks Florida schools are too heavy on standardized testing.
I'm hopeful that the legislature, before they complete the session, will pass some legislation that will reduce the emphasis on testing. I just think it's overdone.
Now, as far as standardized testing goes, a Senate panel recently agreed to suspend the policy that holds back third-grade students who don't do well on state standardized tests. They're doing this until the state's new test is independently validated, and this provision is part of a major testing bill that's moving this session. Live in the studio, Lisa Greenberg, Fox 4 in your corner.